From the dozens of Karens that Penguinz0 has covered, here are the worst Karens that he has roasted far more than others. Starting with a Karen at Target who is so delusional and problematic that Charlie had to describe her actions as,
"This lady set a world record speed run for most unlikable piece of shit in shortest amount of time."
In the midst of the 2020 pandemic, Melissa Rain Lively posted a video of herself destroying a face mask display at a Target on social media, which totally backfired later.
So, Target, I'm not playing any more games. This fucking over. This shit's over. This shit's over. Yay! This shit's over. Woo! Yay! So this shit, shit off my car. I don't want to do that shit.
In an interview, she later explained that this action was sparked when she saw a disturbing meme of Polish Jews being put on a train in 1939, edited so they were wearing face masks with a caption that stated, "First they put you in the masks, then they put you in the boxcars." This apparently convinced her that there was a carefully constructed narrative being pushed, one designed to control society. So, feeling compelled to help others awaken, she went to Target and started shouting. However, Charlie found this hero wannabe action of hers, one that just came in the form of a public nuisance, to be completely absurd, mocking her reasoning very early on in the video.
And those fucking heroes, as we call them in the past, are nothing compared to the sacrifice she just made by taking the time out of her busy day whining on Facebook about anti-vax and the deep state. She went out there in public, no mask, knocking the masks off of the rack to save us. She's like the Jesus Christ of brainwashed lunatics. But you had to make a point. And the point you made was that you are such a fucking asshole that the whole world is now against you. Even people that hate masks are now embarrassed. I was reading from a couple of anti-mask groups that I spy on. They were disgusted by this and thought it was the most embarrassing shit in the world for their cause. Let me put that in perspective for you. This lady is so insufferably fucking dumb that the people that think wearing a mask will instantly suffocate them and prevent them from getting into heaven considered wearing a mask just that way they wouldn't be associated with this woman. That is crazy.
And this mask rampage wasn't even the worst thing about this video. After being rightfully approached by employees to stop, this Karen randomly creates a narrative that she's only getting confronted because of her race, physical appearance, and $40,000 Rolex.
Anymore. This is over. No. No. Do you? Why? Why? You let everybody else do it. You let everybody else do it. Why can't I do it? Because I'm a blonde white woman? Fucking wearing a fucking $40,000 fucking Rolex? I don't have the fucking right to fuck shit up?
Of course, Charlie had to point out how this logic did not make a single bit of sense.
She somehow found a way to brag about her wealth with a $40,000 Rolex comment, as well as mentioning being a blonde white woman for whatever fucking reason. I don't think I'll ever understand the thoughts that go through the head of someone like this, if any thoughts at all even go through there, but it makes me believe that we need an Arkham Asylum. Like, straight out of Gotham, right out of the Batman universe, we need an Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane like this. I still am just baffled by the $40,000 watch comment. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Because she's wearing a $40K watch, she can do whatever she wants? Hey, what do you mean I can't steal these cars? Do you see my watch? It's $40,000. I'm taking the cars. What? No, what the fuck are you talking about? Abusing my kid is not illegal for me. Look at my Rolex. It's worth 40 grand.
Charlie then played the video of Melissa filming her own arrest on IG Live, which apparently happened because her husband had called the cops after her full-day rampage of rummaging through Target and later walking around with hats on her feet. And that's where things took an even crazier turn, as she started to claim she was a spokesperson for the White House.
So I was hired to be the QAnon spokesperson.
Coming here today?
I cannot. It's a secret. What do you mean? Like I can't give you any classified information. You don't have clearance. You don't have clearance.
Okay.
You don't.
You're a spokesperson,
yeah,
correct?
For the White House. Yeah.
I bet you didn't expect that grand reveal, did you, pussy? We're getting some Harry Potter fanfic shit in here with these plot twists. The narrative is getting crazy. It's getting fucking wacky. Now, I'm sorry to spoil the ending of this anime here, but she's not actually a spokesperson for the White House. I know that comes as a shock to most of us. But I don't think that should have stopped her. I think she should have went harder. She should have doubled down. Instead of aiming low like a spokesperson for the White House, she should have went, "I am the White House." Then she rips off the mask and it's the president. Just something fucking crazy. You know, really make the police go, "Holy shit, what have we gotten ourselves into here?" You know what I mean?
On top of the narrative that she's a White House representative, Melissa also proceeds to threaten the officers, claiming that she was broadcasting to millions of viewers, and claimed that she was being targeted because she was Jewish.
Call Donald Trump and ask him if you don't believe me.
Do you have his phone number?
Do I have his phone number? I'm on the phone with him all the time. I'm fucking wired.
Okay. I think we have enough here.
All of this is being broadcast live.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, where is it being broadcast?
Everywhere, all over the world.
All over the world?
All over the world on Instagram, yeah. Millions of viewers. So, say cheese. You're on candid camera.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna have you spin around and just put your phone down.
What?
First, okay? I need you to put your phone down.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
You're doing it to me because I'm Jewish. You're doing it to me because I'm Jewish.
I have no idea.
You're doing it to me because I'm Jewish. This is a Nazi fucking game. You're doing this to me because I'm Jewish. This is Nazi bullshit.
Unfortunately for Melissa, this turned into a worst-case scenario for her, as she later revealed to USA Today that she lost all her clients from her business, the brand consortium PR, and her husband filed for divorce. She also spent more than a week in a mental health facility, though people thought her response to this was so weird, writing, "She recorded herself being a Karen. Did she expect praise for being a psycho? So weird." Regardless of these repercussions though, this Karen once again resurfaced in 2025, together with her financier boyfriend Philip Osterman. According to reports, Melissa and her boyfriend collided with a child in a pushchair. In response, the man then began shouting racial abuse at the mother pushing the pushchair and her family, before the woman, aka our Karen, grabbed the victim's hair. When the victim tried to defend herself, the man pepper sprayed towards the victims, while Melissa made lewd gestures. This move was totally out of line, just like how the next Karen harassed and aggressively danced in front of two women who were simply minding their own business and enjoying nature. Let's have Charlie introduce this Karen.
We'll go ahead and start with the most popular Karen sighting this week. This one's actually pretty special and pretty scientifically important, I'd argue. This isn't just some generic Karen, this is actually the guardian spirit of blueberries Karen. She comes out when she feels blueberries are being threatened, and it's someone we've read about in fairy tales, but until now we've never had video evidence that this Karen even exists. This is like finding a video of Bigfoot.
Taxes, I pay for this park, and I don't like to see people wrecking it.
We're not wrecking it. There's literally so many berries everywhere.
Oh my God, we're not wrecking it! Oh, there's so many berries out here. There's so many berries.
I cannot.
Complete.
This dance move was so absurd it quickly made rounds as a viral meme. And Charlie had to comment this.
You ever get so mad at someone that you just bust a fucking move? This Karen got so upset that she just couldn't help but hit the electric slide part 2 right then and there. I've said it before and it's absolutely true. Karens are just like children with temper tantrums and shit like that. Basically, a Karen is the result of a toddler being Freaky Friday'd into the body of a miserable middle school English teacher.
For context, the video was recorded by two young girls who had gone out to pick blueberries at a Canadian park. But instead of enjoying a peaceful day in nature, they got interrupted by this random Karen who took extra offense to the blueberry picking situation and started yelling at them while blurting out racist remarks.
You're the one coming up to two young girls, getting
Young
mad at them
girls,
for
yeah,
picking
you're like 6 years old.
6 years old.
Because we wanted to eat some berries.
I'm saying, eat all the berries you want, just don't take the bush with you.
It's not the bush, it's literally it's a tiny branch.
Why don't you mind your own business? Why don't you mind your own business?
You know, that is the f***ing rudest thing you've said to me.
You decided
Go
to come
back
up
where
to
you
us.
came from if you want to use language like that.
Oh, why don't you go back to where you came from, you f***ing colonizer?
I like how that's where the line in the sand was. You've gone too far telling me to mind my own business. Are you kidding me? Mind my own business? Do you know who I am? I can't mind my own business because I'm fucking miserable and I need to get mad at every opportunity possible so I can yell at some kids, so I can boogie down with my noodle arms, and I need to get mad. Mind my own business. Imagine thinking it's rude when someone tells you, hey, just mind your own shit. Honestly, the rational response to that should be like, you know what? That's a really good point. This isn't affecting me personally. Why did I interject myself in this? I'm getting the fuck out.
And the plot twist here was that the Karen who told them to go back to their country was actually born on US soil while she was talking to people who were born in Canada.
Where did you come from? I'm actually curious. Where
The
did you
U.S.
U.S.?
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're not
so
even
you're
from
not
here.
Canadian either.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, but we are Canadian too. I was born here.
I was born here too.
Okay.
Were you born here?
No.
Okay,
Oh.
so this is actually like I was born here and you're not even born
My
here, and you're
grandparents
telling me to
were?
go
Doesn't
back
matter,
to
you're
wherever.
telling us to go
Your
back to-
grandparents weren't either. That's the thing. Were your grandparents born here? No.
Look, she's smiling.
Yeah, that angle didn't pan out too well for you there, did it? Not only did they get to eat those berries, but they got to slap you down right there on your own f***ing stupid argument, so that was a bit rough for you.
Now, the reactions to this story weren't exactly unanimous in siding with the girls recording the video, as people were expressing concern about how the girls did take a pretty large branch when they could have just taken the berries. please. But most still agreed how the Karen acted was way too extreme, with top comments highlighting how she straight up busted out the Squidward talent show move, and one commenter even dubbed the dance the secret dance of death. Also, another pointed out the irony of an American in Canada telling Canadians to go back where they're from. But this wasn't the only intriguing Karen that Charlie featured in this same video, as he also covered the viral old lady Karen that got mad at kids driving toy car without a license. Charlie started off by replaying the entire Karen clip.
They're playing. That's what the park is for.
I never saw a car in here before.
It's a Power Wheel
It
car,
doesn't
man.
bother me. What bothers me is you have a little kid in here that doesn't have a driver's license. He's just a little kid and you're not with him.
And people online commented that this video was 100% proof that Karens are just miserable and can't have anyone having fun. Here's how Charlie described the lady.
This one's almost just a wholesome Karen encounter. She smells some people were having fun at the park, so she goes out of her way to just put the kibosh on that shit and shut it down. And then she takes notice, wait a minute, those are little kids in a truck? Is that a truck in the park? Hey, what the fuck is this? These are some unlicensed kids in a fucking cyber truck. Are you kidding me? You're a terrible parent. Where are their license? I'm gonna have them thrown in the slammer for this. This is a crime. This is a fucking crime. In my peaceful park, are you out of your fucking mind?
But while this Karen had a mild meltdown, enough for Charlie to describe her as almost wholesome, the next set of Karens were so disruptive and dangerous that the government itself had to step in to put a stop to their antics. During the peak of the 2020 pandemic, this video of Karens attempting to intimidate essential workers by pretending to work for a bogus federal agency surfaced. The absurdity of the clip quickly caught Charlie's radar, who within a day or two released a video titled "Karen Started an Air Mafia," which he opened like this.
It's time I introduce you to the most powerful organization on the planet, more powerful than any government that currently exists, more aggressive than Scientology, more secretive than the Men in Black. I'm talking of the Freedom to Breathe Agency. The FTBA has existed for as long as humans have, subtly guiding our history and shaping human evolution. Kind of like Area 51, they've been nothing but a myth, a legend, talked about in hushed whispers behind dumpsters, and never really understanding the full scope of the power the FTBA OTPHJ holds until recently. The Freedom to Breathe Agency has gone into the public eye, rising to the surface to be at the forefront of justice with one simple mission: refuse to wear a mask and sue anyone that politely asks you to. The Freedom to Breathe Agency is obviously started by those brain-rotted Karens that think if you put anything over your face, it's going to suffocate and kill you. So with the same mentality as children who think the Easter Bunny is leaving Easter eggs around their house, these Karens believe that our God-given right to breathe air is being stepped on. So let's go ahead and see how they're combating this.
You guys been challenging people on these subjects. Okay, so we are with FTBA, the Freedom to Breathe Agency. We are with the people organization, making sure that people's constitutional rights, civil and federal laws are not broken, okay? And so you personally need to take this to your manager because you personally can be sued for this, okay?
I'm just following the store policy
I'm telling you, you are probably paid $15 an hour or $12 an hour, okay? But you are putting yourself into a major legal liability, you personally, okay?
They need to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, you guys need to be careful. Yeah.
This video was so concerning that this time, people weren't just making fun of the Karens, but also leaving comments like, "If you see this, call the police. That's a crime," pretending to be a federal agent, and highlighting how in a single clip, it was so infuriating that the Karens had total disregard for public health during a pandemic. And they were misrepresenting themselves as a federal agency in spandex, and they were bullying a young frontline worker. In the same infuriated tone, Charlie also had quite a lot to say about these Karens.
It always just blows me away how these miserable, dusty, crusty old harpies just can't resist the urge to be an asshole at every possible opportunity, throwing this woman's wage in her face for no reason other than to condescend to her, even though this lady's likely never had a job and just mooches off of her husband's successful career, which is why she has so much free time to make shitty badges and shit lawsuits out of nowhere, and yet she still feels entitled enough to shit on someone who is working for a living. It is pathetic, truly fucking sad and pathetic, and especially for the FTBA, who's trying to be like an official organization, to go do shit like this. It's silly. I mean, the whole thing is silly. I don't even know why I'm trying to even give them the generosity of saying trying to pursue an official organization, because they're not and they never will be, they never could be. It is actually an organization fronted by miserable old women like this. You can see her friend from the fucking 50 Shades of Grey book club is filming this entire thing, thinking that this is somehow in the right for their Facebook group, in which they do have a private Facebook group. The FTBA is just such cowardly bullshit Karens. They can't have a public Facebook group because they're just so goddamn sensitive.
And unfortunately, this lady was just one of the many members of this so-called Freedom to Breathe agency.
Like I said, it is trying to be an organization, and they've created these fake mask exemption cards that I'm sure you've seen by now, because for some reason these were very popular. Pretty sure they were just handing them out at like local retirement homes or some shit that. But this little hall monitor badge here does absolutely nothing for you. This would be about as useful as giving someone a Pokemon card and then saying this proves that you're exempt from wearing a face mask in public. It's a whole bunch of shit. In fact, the Department of Justice had to come out and say, no, we didn't issue these cards, this is bullshit. And if you ask me, that should be a crime to print cards like this and claim that it's from an official entity when it's not. I think they should be completely sued, and each member of the FTBA hold personally liable in each suit on an individual level, just like how this woman in the supermarket was saying to the employee. I think that would be some poetic justice.
According to Business Insider, the cards that Charlie was referencing threatened business owners requiring patrons to wear masks with a referral to the Department of Justice and potential fines of $150,000. Now, the government did actively track down and warn the public about these fraudulent face mask flyers, and even Facebook banned the group called Unmasking America, which gave birth to the FTBA organization. But these Karens remained ignorant to the backlash. The woman in the video, which Business Insider later identified as Lenka Coloma, gave out this statement after the video featuring her harassing a grocery store worker went viral. "We were only educating her and advocating for her to make her realize that her employer is putting her into harm's way," alleging that the store's attempt to enforce mask-wearing rules was illegal. In the same month that Charlie covered this non-existent Freedom to Breathe agency, he also exposed a certain male Karen who decided to make a scene just for being asked to wear a mask, causing one of the staff members to become so stressed out that she cried.
Can I say that again? Would you like to say that again?
This guy is very upset because a worker politely asked if he'd wear a mask, and that was a declaration of war attacking his fragile ego, and he's so insecure that he starts filming and shaming her in public at her workplace until she starts crying.
Hi. It's okay. It's my. She just asked me to place a mask on, so I just thought I'd record it. That's all. That's fine. Yeah. So, do I still have to wear a mask? Because I'm just shopping in your shop, mate. That's all. I just walked in and I'm just being told to wear a mask by some woman I don't even know. Are you telling me to wear a mask? You've just said to me, would you like to wear a mask? Are you forcing me to wear a mask? Are you asking me to wear a mask? Excuse me, why are you getting stressed out for? You've just approached me with a mask and said, would you like to put this on? Why are you getting upset for? I would suggest you go and calm yourself down outside and relax. Don't come to customers and tell them what to do with shopping. Thank you. Sort your emotions out first before you get a job.
Commenters found it so ironic how the guy said, "Sort out your emotions before you get a job," while he was the same man who got incredibly angry over being politely asked to wear a mask. But what was even more ironic was that Charlie later revealed that this guy ended up being unemployed because of this very incident.
Yeah, speaking of jobs, this guy was recently fired, so I'd take his advice when it comes to employment with a grain of salt. He's not very good at it.
And most commenters had plain disgust for him, writing, "The first guy was disgusting, getting all high and mighty for making some teenager cry for doing her job." Charlie mocked how this guy tried to masculine his way out of wearing a mask.
The rational thing to do when asked to wear a mask is to start recording, obviously. Oh, what a big man. Well, good work, brother. You see the way he took her down? That'll be the last time she ever tries to help a customer. That'll teach her. You don't tussle with the lack of muscle here. This guy put the smack down on her. Hulkmania ran wild here. Trying to muzzle this kind of masculine monster? You gotta be fucking crazy.
But while this guy went full Karen after being asked to wear a mask, the next guy went nuts after being lightly bumped by someone who wasn't wearing a mask.
What the fuck? You shot that man! Call 911! They shot that man! What the fuck? You shot that man! You're not giving us food! You shouldn't have done that! He assaulted me! Where are we going now? The worker
As this video made its rounds online, people expressed concern about this guy's behavior, writing, "No, this is unacceptable. Not okay to destroy other people's property and put the staff at risk. This could have turned violent. I agree everyone should wear a mask, but in the end, you only have control over yourself. Not to mention the scolder isn't even wearing his mask right." Though, like many others, Charlie highlighted how it was incredibly ironic that the guy yelling about someone else not wearing a mask wasn't even wearing his own mask properly.
This is a man who is not an anti-masker. He's very much on the side of masks and is upset about a man who didn't have a mask, which is understandable. If this guy even knew how to wear his own mask, this guy's wearing it like a condom that's too goddamn big. He's not even covering his own fucking nose. It's just wild. So this guy loves masks, as he should, and people that don't wear a mask out in public, yeah, huge nuisance and a detriment. But he can't even wear his own fucking mask correctly, and he's having this kind of temper tantrum meltdown. This kind of shit always puts a smile on my face, though, the people that just scream, "Assault! Assault! I've been assaulted!" when they've been, like, lightly bumped. Like, this guy's fucking screeching and squealing like he just stepped on a landmine or something, when really what happened is he just got lightly bumped because he's in his face with his phone. The guy was like, "Oh, get the fuck off of me." And then he just totally goes into meltdown mode, destroys an entire rack of pizza for some reason. It's not like the guy he's mad at works at the pizza place or owns it or anything. That does nothing except make it really tough for the fucking workers there. So he's just a huge douche. And then he starts blaming the pizza place. "Why did you serve him food? Did you not see what he did to me? He almost killed me with that little body bump. What have you done? You gave him food." And then he chases him down.
But while people arguing about masks in restaurants was already chaotic enough, there's nothing quite as Karen-coded as parents at school board meetings ranting about how their children are being forced to wear masks, which some even claimed were causing hospitalizations during the pandemic. On August 2021, Lee County Public Schools in Florida announced that they would require masks indoors due to the ongoing pandemic. And during the board meeting, where this mandate was officially announced, the majority of parents who spoke out did not shy away from throwing shade at masks and making statements, or more like conspiracies, that Penguinz0 sarcastically applauded before mocking.
Maybe the reason why we have people in the hospitals all this mask wearing. Did we ever think of that? Did we ever think of that?
Oh wow, now there is a thinker. Oh man, yeah, I don't know if we ever stopped to consider that. Maybe it is the masks that are making everyone sick. Wow, she's really blowing the case wide open. She has like the actual thought processes of a child. You know, is she then going to start lobbying that we remove cracks from pavement because if you step on a crack, you break your mama's back?
Putting a mask on those children is robbing them of their education. You are robbing these kids of their developmental rights in terms of education. Are you educators? Don't you know that?
She is making a good point. Everyone knows that your brain turns off when your mouth is covered. Every time you go to eat something and your mouth gets full, like you just go fucking full brain dead for a split second. Everyone knows that. So she's at least making sense here. You simply cannot learn while wearing a mask, obviously. I mean, how are you expected to do mathematics if there's a mask over your face, right? Like it's simple, it's elementary, really. I wonder if anyone ever told this lady that doctors and surgeons typically wear a mask when performing important operations. But that's probably a lie. I mean, the government probably made that up. I mean, you usually go under when you have like really important surgery. So you're asleep. They're probably not wearing a mask, and you're just being lied to. Since you haven't seen it with your own eyes, they're probably not actually wearing a mask. And if they were, they'd be drooling over themselves because their brain would be off. Like you can't do anything when you have a mask on, obviously, as she's saying. So yeah, no, that's probably a lie. They're probably, when they're doing surgery, they're probably wearing like a leather jacket with like a cigar in their mouth or something, so that way they can really focus. Like, you just can't learn if you're wearing a mask, and that's a really good argument, I think. Like, there's a lot of merit to that statement, if you're the fucking person on earth.
But one parent's theory in particular was so random that Charlie, for a second, didn't even know how to react to it.
I want to talk about the real pandemic, child sex trafficking. By putting masks on these kids' face, you can't identify any of them.
What? Excuse me? Buddy, it's a school board meeting. For a second there, I thought he was going to start, like, complaining as, like a child trafficker himself. You know, it's like, I can never tell what their age is anymore, god damn it, and it's making my profession as a human trafficker much more difficult, god damn it. So this needs to go.
And people online also couldn't find the correlation between his statements, writing, "I feel like he just got dragged to a school board meeting and tried the best thing to get kicked out," while some got all sarcastic and stated, "Yeah, the school pickup line every day is super fucking confusing. They're all wearing masks. I have no idea which kid is mine." One parent even went on to claim that the school board mandating masks was somehow proof of the school board's hatred for her children.
They don't care about your children. As a matter of fact, they hate them. They hate your kids. They hate my kids. They hate your kids. They hate my kids. Get it?
Yeah. Busting out some stinky rhymes there for a second. She was about to go into a full-blown freestyle for him. I'm pretty sure everyone that showed up here to demand that masks be ripped off of kids' faces are the ones that actually hate their own kids. I don't think they even view them as their own children. I think they just view them as like political tools or something to enforce their own beliefs and agenda. So I think they're really kind of the ones that hate the kids. But that goes against the song she was about to bust out there, the little nursery rhyme she was working up. But like there's just, I'm sure even like a 9-year-old can recognize like there's nothing to be lost by having a mask over your face. It's not like it's harmful. It's not like ruining your life. So what's the point? Even if you don't think it works, it's no different than just having a dress code at school. Like if you go to a school and they say, hey, you can't have assless chaps, it's not like you're going to make a big hoopla about that. Like, no, I should be able to have my asshole exposed to the world, right? Like it doesn't matter. And I feel bad for the kids because it's their parents that are trying to hurt them just because they have a stupid belief. They are literally going to Gangnam Style on the corpse of their own kid for it. And I don't think they're going to care either. But I just wanted to say that because I think she's really the one that hates her own kids, and she's just kind of projecting that on the school board that she's whining and complaining to.
Charlie then added one last example of these school board Karens, one that even the news anchor covering the meeting was obviously dumbfounded by.
99.9 live through this flu, especially the kids, and the data proves that too. Science and laws shouldn't be changing so fast. Has Nuremberg taught us nothing of medical tyranny in the past?
This guy's face really says it all. She brought up Nuremberg. Good lord. Like, some of these people are just too far gone, to be honest. Like, there's just nothing you can do. They just desperately need something to cling to that they feel makes them unique, or makes them feel smart, and this is what they've chosen. And I don't think many of these families ever really admit when they're wrong. I do remember not long ago, there was a family who 2 different members of the family died, and they ran 2 GoFundMe campaigns and still kept saying no mask, no vaccine, even in their own fucking GoFundMe campaigns, as they were lobbying for money for funeral services for the 2 members that died from it. So it's just one of those things, man. I don't know what you do about it except just sit back and laugh at them anymore. Like, there's just nothing you can do.
But if there's one organization that suffers just as much from Karens as school boards do, it would be emergency services, who often get called for every little inconvenience these Karens face, as proven by Penguinz0's video, the Burger King Karen. Back in 2020, a Karen called 911 on a driver because they wouldn't let her cut in front of them at a Burger King drive-thru. As she was dialing emergency services, she and her husband stood in front of the car that wouldn't let her cut in line, holding up the entire line until the cops arrived. This entire encounter did initially make the inconvenienced driver laugh.
Hashtag Karen again. Lady, are you serious right now?
But as time went on, the situation quickly went from being funny to being frustrating for the car trapped in line.
Get out the way. Are you serious right now? Get your COVID ass out the way. They are calling the cops, y'all, over Burger King because they made an illegal turn in the parking lot.
Even the woman filming shouted in frustration for the Karen couple to move.
Get your ass out in front of my car! Get out of my way! Move! Move! Get out the way! Get out the way!
Or when she had to step out of the car to confront the Karen.
Ass, get out of the goddamn way. This lady right here.
She cut me off to get to the takeout to the
Are you drunk?
Burger King.
Because you can't even get your words together.
And almost hit me when I was trying to get in.
I almost hit you.
And cut in front of me. I don't usually get upset, but this is...
Y'all, look how close I am. This is almost hitting them. This is almost hitting them. I am not the one to play
No,
with.
I'm not my own car.
You-
I'm outside my car. because
Exactly. This is a Karen. This is a Karen.
They came to no resolution, and as the Karen wanted, the cops had to get involved in the absurd situation. Here's what Charlie had to say about this clip.
A Karen and her cell phone, the most dangerous combination since bleach and ammonia. A Karen with her cell phone is like King Arthur with his Excalibur. Truly an unstoppable force of annoyance and pettiness. I can also tell the 911 conversation's not going as smoothly as she thought. The Karen probably thought she'd call 911 and say, I need help at Burger King, and they would have sent the SWAT unit out there to give her whopper. But it's clearly not happening that way, so she's starting to really reach, like, she almost hit me, even though the car is, like, 50 miles away from her. I feel bad for her husband here. You can tell that he's so fucking embarrassed. He can't even look this lady in the eyes. He can't take his eyes off of the pavement here, just looking down. This is absolutely not the first time his wife has embarrassed him like this. He reminds me of like a sad puppy who has shit owners but is still loyal to them just because they have a good heart.
Now, this incident didn't really escalate into anything serious, as the lady filming was eventually assisted by the cops in passing through the Karen barricade. But people online hoped the outcome should have been different, with comments such as, blocking someone's car has to be some form of harassment. I hope they got a ticket for at least calling the cops for no reason. And they need to start arresting these entitled people for acting like an ass and wasting emergency services time. But while this Burger King Karen was annoying, at the very least, she wasn't physically aggressive, unlike the viral zombie Karen, who literally smashed her body toward the door.
Oh, Lord!
After she was forcefully removed from the establishment. And here's how Charlie introduced and described this Karen.
You can probably guess what this situation was about. She wasn't wearing a mask and they didn't let her in the business, and for some reason the natural response to this for most Karens is to just break down and have this kind of lunatic behavior where she's licking the glass right there on the door and slamming into it like a zombie. I actually feel like maybe Corona is mutating, and it's starting to only affect middle-aged post-menopausal women, and it's starting to transmogrify them into these mindless ghouls that just act off pure wrong instincts and lack of shame. It's this perfect storm where you have this virus that has met this other virus called Facebook, and now the two of them have just come together to form this amalgamation of evil and annoyance that is the Karen you see in the video like this. It truly is remarkable and scary at the same time.
Charlie only played a brief clip of this Karen, but the full video shows just how aggressive she was, as she slammed her body toward the door on multiple occasions.
Oh, Lord! You need to go home! Man, get away!
And she was doing literally everything she could just to get back inside the establishment.
Yo, mom, baby girl. Who the fuck is baby girl? This fucking I Am Legend. That bitch talking. She's doing the same shit. She's doing the same shit. What the? That's blood on the top of her head? For sure.
It is.
Then she was eventually captured by the police.
You hate to see it, boy. Out of here. Stupid ass.
I'm not gonna look
Man, you got sanitizer in your hand?
But even her chaotic Karen-like behavior would barely compare to that of Ashley Corbin, because on top of swatting while intoxicated, this lady lied about so many things that her actions made every other Karen look tame by comparison. Charlie featured this Karen in his video titled Most Delusional Freakout Ever. And it all started with this drunk, incredibly fake emergency call of hers.
But before we even see her, let's go ahead and get brought up to speed with the lore. The call, the emergency that she phoned in.
Hi, there's a man with a gun. Shooting with a gun? Can you spell the street, ma'am? I can't understand you. Do you have me on speakerphone? He's shooting with a gun. Okay, and who is shooting with a gun? There's a man. He lives there. Okay, how do you know this is going on? Oh my God, he's out there with a gun shooting rabbits. Okay, how do you know this is going on? Oh my God, because I can see him. He's shooting rabbits. He's shooting everywhere. Answer my questions. How do you know this is going on?
No doubt she's a classically trained actress. That is a very convincing performance. Those acting chops could bring a tear to the eyes of even Margot Robbie. And she is using it for evil, nefarious purposes. So she's talking about a man who's shooting. He's shooting rabbits. He's shooting everywhere. And refuses to give any, like, real info, and then like pauses after the operator's asking her how she even knows this is going on. She doesn't answer and then just hangs up.
As the Code Blue Cam documentary explains, this call ultimately sent multiple available police units to the location where body cam footage later showed had nothing going on at the time.
There's nothing going on here. This is most likely a swatting call.
But then the mysterious caller reaches out again, saying the same thing, that this maniac is out there firing his weapon. There's a maniac on the loose and we gotta get him. Only the officers were there. There was no guns. They even searched the area for casings, found nothing. They asked the homeowner nearby. Nothing. So they were pretty confident it was a swatting call.
This Karen kept calling the police multiple times, despite officers literally being on the scene, seeing that nothing was happening. So the cops had to shift their investigation toward the caller instead of the reported incident.
They are at the scene, so they know it's not real, and they just start forwarding those calls to Ace Detective Phoenix Wright's personal desk phone, and he happens to recognize her voice from previous interactions. Let that sink in for a moment. Marinate on that thought. A police officer interacts with so many people, and most of those interactions, I imagine, aren't overly positive. Do you know how annoying you have to be to have an officer remember your voice? That you were such a fucking nuisance that your voice left an imprint in their brain that even just audibly hearing you can activate a Winter Soldier moment for them where they remember your name and everything. All because you stained them with how annoying you were.
That's when the cops identified her as 36-year-old Ashley Corbin. And the more the officers looked into it, the more it became clear that this was very likely an unfortunate case of swatting, which Charlie described as such.
Like, swatting is a very serious thing. Again, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, but people die from swatting. So it's something that's taken super seriously here. And she is not able to wrangle that fact at all.
Yep, you've said that a couple times, ma'am. If you were so worried about your kids, I think you'd be willing to talk to an officer about it.
Are you kidding me? Do you really want to want to go there? So we're gonna end this. He's gonna pay us $1,500.
Oh, that's good for you.
Yeah, sure is.
Her neurons started to desperately fire as the realization must have started to sink in that they're not buying her story. So she starts to panic a little bit and tries to write a conclusion to the fanfic about how they just shook hands with $1,500 and everything's hunky-dory now. No need to send any pesky officers out there to check anything out because it's all squared away now, huh? Job well done.
What she likely didn't expect, though, was that things would quickly turn even worse for her. Despite hiding behind an anonymous number, the cops eventually started addressing her by name.
Hello?
Holy.
Is this Ashley?
Yeah, no, this is not Ashley. Who is Ashley?
I thought this was Ashley.
And I think it's pretty obvious from the second she answers the phone, they got her. But she's trying to play it cool. Ashley? No, this is not Ashley.
Within the same day, officers came to pick her up, and that's when her long series of nonsense and lies started to spill out. First, she denied being involved in the swatting.
No, I'm not doing a swatting thing with a Brookfield. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't joke about that.
That is a serious joke.
Then she randomly claimed that she was dating a police officer.
We were told here to come pick you up, that you have a warrant, and Brookfield wants to talk.
I date a Brookfield officer, okay?
Who?
My man is an officer.
And here's all that Charlie could say.
It's pretty clear that this woman is a pathological liar, and it only gets worse. She throws out some really heinous accusations in a bit. So right now, she's talking about how she wasn't behind the swatting. That's a very serious joke. That's not a knee slapper or a gut buster that you make gags out of. She would never do such a thing like that. And then she's talking about how she actually dates an officer. Won't name his name, but she dates an officer, and he probably wouldn't like what's happening here. He probably wouldn't like it. So her whole idea here, I think, was to try and, like, I don't know, say, like, hey, I date an officer, so I shouldn't be arrested, you know? I think that was the plan. It doesn't work, but I think that's what she was going for.
But not only was she acting like a Karen toward the officers, the footage also proved that she was just an overall unpleasant human being.
You're good. Well, we got plans.
Can you please come out?
Hey, be respectful.
No, you can take it.
I was trying to go to the basement. I didn't know I was going to there.
It's actually incredible how unlikable this woman is. A just normal person coming out of the elevator doing normal activities, and she yells at them to get out. Like, what the f***? How can someone possibly be this much of an insufferable piece of shit? It's actually impressive.
On top of being oddly proud of this rudeness, she still had more lies up her sleeves.
That was kind of rude.
Oh, I am rude. I'm sorry.
That lady did nothing to you.
I'm a surgeon.
What?
I'm a surgeon. I am. So I'm very particular. So
What does that have to do with yelling at a lady?
I'm sorry.
Now she's saying that she's a surgeon. She just randomly blurts out that she's a surgeon. It's like a child when they're like making up a story when playing pretend, like SpongeBob and SquarePants in that box of imagination. That's her whole brain. I'm spitting. I'm actually spitting. That's how disgusted this woman makes me. She can't stop lying for even a second, and she can't stop being a piece of shit to people around her. And like the officer's even telling her, like, that was rude. Like, this was just a person using this elevator, and now you're yelling at them. And she's like, I'm a surgeon! I'm a surgeon! I'm a surgeon! I like things to be particular. And they're like, what? What?
People sarcastically commented how she's the greatest brain surgeon, as she has successfully removed her own using nothing but alcohol. While others pointed out that the fact that she panically tried claiming she was a brain surgeon as a way to justify being needlessly rude to a stranger is absolutely everything you need to know about her. But her surgeon wannabe moment wasn't even the worst lie of that night. In her desperation, she started to accuse the officers who detained her of being abusive during the encounter.
You guys were harassing me under the bridge. And there was no cameras under there. And you guys were harassing me and me under the bridge. Yep.
We have body cameras.
And I have marks.
We have body cameras, and if you want to,
and so do I.
if you want to file a false police report, we can go down that road.
You're lying.
Her next series of lies isn't nearly as humorous as her brain surgeon storyline, where, you know, she received a lobotomy, thus she thinks she's a brain surgeon now or whatever. This one, she starts to try and spin a false rape accusation.
And this guy me. What is your name? I'm talking too loud. You me. I'm talking too loud. You me.
Ashley.
You me. He me. He did. This guy.
She now embarks on the Screaming Gambit. This is a pretty advanced maneuver you don't see executed super often, never to any degree of success, where the person just then starts screeching and squealing. And it's what she does for the rest of the video. So she's still screaming that they raped her when there is body cam footage to prove that did not happen. That is a blatant lie. All she does is endlessly lie. It's craziness. And that is a awful thing to be lying about. And she's screaming it, and I think the idea was to try and like incite anger, to have like maybe people come in and like, I don't know, push over the officers to save her or something. I don't know what she's even trying to do with that accusation when there's clearly evidence that proves contrary. I think it's to try and like get out of the arrest. I don't really know, but it is unhinged lunacy.
Ashley, turn back around. Ashley, get back on the bench. Ashley, you need to sit on the bench right now.
When she eventually does get to the station, she lets out her best Joker laugh that she can muster. And to her credit, it's a pretty maniacal, cartoonishly evil laugh that she pulled off. It's pretty impressive.
This Karen simply knew no limits, because at any given moment, she always found a way to exaggerate or lie, even when the truth was clearly laid out in front of everyone around her.
Now you broke my arm.
Sit.
Now you broke my arm.
Ashley, you need to sit down.
You broke my arm.
Ashley, you need to sit up.
Lord have mercy on all the poor souls that were watching this with headphones on. They're no longer with us. So she's now claiming they broke her arm when they went over to try and get her to sit up. They didn't actually even lift her, by the way. The second they, like, touched her, then she started saying that they broke her arm.
No, you broke my arm. You broke my arm. You did. You broke my arm.
I did not break your
You
arm.
broke my arm. Why are you hurting me?
If you sit forward, I won't touch you.
To this, here's what Charlie had to say during his final remarks.
So that's kind of where that concludes, but she did receive some charges for it, but really got let off super easy. She, I think, only spent like 6 months in jail for blatant swatting, and she should be counting her lucky stars that they didn't try and pursue some kind of false rape accusation charges as well. I don't know if that's something they even could do, but I'm surprised they didn't try. Like, this really could have been a lot worse for Ashley. Swatting is something that is extremely serious. So she got let off very easily.
People in Charlie's comments also called for harsher punishments, writing, "Anyone swatting should be charged with attempted murder and jailed accordingly." But unfortunately, this Karen's sentence ended up being even lighter than what Charlie had mentioned. Records show that she was only sentenced up to 2 years of probation with no prison time. And unsurprisingly, just 3 weeks after that probation ended, Ashley Corbin once again found herself in trouble with the law as she reportedly threatened to shoot an officer in the face while she was being arrested for drinking and acting belligerent while out on probation. This unmatched Karen wraps up the video. But if you like the lore behind this compilation, don't miss this shortlisted breakdown of the dumbest criminals that Penguinz0 has exposed.